Good morning. You're on the midday queue with Pam and Joe today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this morning, we do have a very special guest with us. And we have Yusek Ireneo Vizmonte right here on the show. Good morning, Sir Boy. Hopefully, you are doing well. How is it, everything on your end?
I'm doing fine. Wala naman po tayong sakit at maayos naman po ang ating kalagayan niya.
That is good to hear. And Joe and I are very excited to have this little short conversation with you.
Sir Boy, let's just get last week, they set a limit on purchasing goods. And do you think this policy should be a general implementation for the whole Metro Manila for NCR?
Ay, nako, hindi naman po. We don't see that we're going to have any problem in relation to supply of goods, okay? So limiting the purchasing amount of the consuming public may not help. Maybe it's in anticipation of ECQ, but actually during ECQ, all retail stores are open, okay? Kung meron man po, if ever there'll be a limitation, if ever, it will be maybe because of curfew that the local government will impose. But right now, under ECQ, all retail establishments for essential goods are open.
Okay, that is good to know. Now, we also noticed you said that during this pandemic, there have been a lot of businesses that decided to unfortunately close down, but also we noticed a lot of businesses, what do you call this, sprouting, parang mushrooming here and there, despite the uncertainties. Would you know why this is happening?
Yeah, number one, of course, we know that there are some businesses that are closed. For one, the government policy on for each of the quarantine classification, we have the sets of businesses that are not allowed to open. For example, bars, arcade, they are not allowed to open. So naturally, there are some businesses that will remain closed. Then as far as our survey is concerned before the ECQ, there are around 10% or 12% that are closed sometime 2021. Around 3% are closed before the ECQ. But of course, during this ECQ, more establishments will be closed.
All right. Sir Boy.
But I think the second part of your question is there are new businesses that are opening, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
I think these are those businesses that help in addressing some of the difficulties we have, like how to address mobility to purchase goods. So you have the e-commerce. So there are many online establishments offering their goods, their services. As you know, online businesses, you can sell anything. You can sell anything, no limitation, as long as you will purchase this online and it will be delivered by these delivery services that are available in your area.
Yusek, how is this being monitored though? I mean, ang daming businesses na po na nagsisimula, and how can we protect both the buyers and the sellers supporting new online businesses that have been, starting for the past few months?
Just like the regular retail store, brick and mortar or physical store, consumers have access to file their complaints. And in DTI, you can call 1384. And whether it's online or a physical store, consumer complaints can be filed. So regardless of how the goods are sold, consumers should be protected. But there are difficulties in monitoring, of course, these schemes. That's why we want consumers to buy only from their legitimate sellers. One, that they can have maybe their suki, or someone who have a very good review about the reliability of that supplier. And most importantly is be careful with scammers.
Yusek, are we also looking into having price ceilings being imposed during the ECQ?
Of course, we're not, this not exactly price ceiling, but the government is implementing the suggested retail price. Okay, so it's a level of price that we want the suppliers, the retailers to set. Anything higher than that, the DTI will issue a notice for you to explain why you have a price higher than the SRP. It's not actually a notice of violation, but a notice to explain, just for you to show why your prices are higher than the suggested retail prices. But of course, government, we have set price ceiling for very important items like COVID testing kits. So government would like to protect also our public in relation to those essential items.
Absolutely, sir. Kasi especially ngayon, ilang buwan na lang po magpapasko na naman. So it's really important to look into these things, and naman mga Pinoy, di ba? Pag Pasko.
Yeah, we call it the suggested retail price, particularly your Noche Buena items. We have what we call suggested retail prices. And this level of prices is being determined using the prices available, like the wholesale prices, how much the retailers bought this from their suppliers, and other data that will help us determine whether or how much is should be the suggested retail price.
Yeah. For those who are listening, we are talking live to Sir Yusek Ireneo Vizmonte. And before we go, sir, ibalik ko lang sa mga online businesses, no? Kasi napakarami nga po ngayon, especially mga e-commerce sites natin. Yan na nga lang po yata yung nagdo-doorbell sa mga bahay namin. So, Yusek, gaano po ba ka-importante na mag-register ng pangalan ng online businesses ng mga Pinoy ngayon?
Okay. So the business name is something that by law is allowed our businesses to have. So without the business name, you can only use your real name. So the good thing about the business name, the DTI implements a business name with two parts. It's like your name. There's a given and a surname. So when you create or compose a business name, it's composed of the first name, and normally something that you think of, and the second part will be a business descriptor. So, for example, if you like to have a laundry services, so you can have your first name like your name, and the second part will be the laundry services, something like that. It's a business descriptor. So when you create that, you have to think of your first name, and then the second name you choose from the choices, which is actually a what you call that, a drop-down menu in our system. The system is 100% online. No mano-mano, done in 8 minutes. And amount could range from, I think, 300 to 2,000 pesos, depending on the coverage of your business name. If you want your name solely under your distinctly unique for the whole Philippines, that will cost you 2,000 pesos. But if you want your name to be distinct only in your barangay, that could be 300 pesos. That means you can have the same name in other barangays. Like, for example, what's your name again?
Joe na lang po.
Joe Sari Sari Store. If you want that name in your barangay, Joe Sari Sari Store in another barangay, will be allowed by the system.
Mhm.
Something like that.
That's
Okay,
interesting.
so there is a significant number of increase in terms of business name registration for online services. So that means these are sellers or those in the supply chain of e-commerce who are the new businesses sprouting now. And very important for them to have the name because this will give you some identity, of course, and it's an opportunity for you to create something that will, something that the people can remember. And then later on, this business name will be the one you're going to register with the LGU. And if you have the mayor's permit, and it will add to your credibility as an online supplier or merchant.
You
That's
said,
that's the importance of the business name.
you said, si Joe Sari Sari Store, in-apply ko po siya as pang barangay lang.
Okay.
Pero plano ko po sana going nationwide, kumbaga. So can we also do that? Or parang re-register po ba sa website?
Yeah,
Or
you at the beginning, if you have that kind of vision, you might as well get the national business
direct
name
na po?
national in scope, so that you can use that Joe Sari Sari Store in all parts of the country.
So it's like saying dream big. So aim for the kung
Oo.
register ka, doon na, pang malakihan na talaga. Di po ba, Yusek?
Yeah, that's good for 5 years. That's the beauty of the business name. You have it for 5 years, and you can renew it after maybe 6 months or 6 months before expiry.
Yusek,
So
before we
imagine divided by 5, that's 400 pesos actually,
Oh.
right?
Yes po. You said before we close this, Joe mentioned kanina na magpapasko na po. Are we gonna have a better Christmas this 2021? Paano po ba natin paghahandaan ng Pasko natin?
Oh, it's a challenging part of this the situation we're in right now. We really have to balance health with the economy, and if virtual Christmas party is the way to go, then I think we should do it. This is very important that during this period, we should be having less face-to-face meeting. So better to have virtual. That's the way to go, and that's the only way for us to really blend economy and health. Is really to be extra careful, follow the minimum health protocol, and avoid crowded places. This is the way as we enter the bear months, we should always remember this. Especially, alam mo naman ng mga Pilipino, we want to celebrate, we want to have reunions during Christmas. Let's just celebrate maybe with the family and share it online with the rest of your family and friends.
There you go. Alam niyo naman po tayo mga Pinoy, we will find ways to
Yes.
be able to celebrate Christmas kahit simple pa yan, and we'll find a way to be able to connect with our family and friends wherever in the world they may be. Hindi po ba, Yusek?
Yeah, tama. So we make use of all the businesses or services we have at this point, online, e-commerce. Alam niyo, daming mga nagninegosyo at this time ng iba-ibang mga pagkain, and siguro you're familiar with it. And these entrepreneurs, they're trying their very best to be unique, to be different from the rest. And the good thing is you can avail of this food and services even without leaving your home. With a click of your phone and your computer, there'll be someone will knocking on your door, and the food will be on your hapagkainan.
I think that's what we should do, support these budding businesses you want to start start of businesses, diba, in time for the holidays also.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yusek. We had fun. We learned so much from this conversation. Hopefully, we can do this again. Makapag sumilip na po si Jose Marie
Yeah.
natin to before this year ends when the Burr months start. So, Yusek Ireneo Vizmonte, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. Hopefully, the next chat will be done face to face
Oo nga
now.
po.
Please
Yeah.
keep
And perhaps next time we can have interview without your mask. Because I
Yes.
don't have masks. 105.1 is the favorite radio station of my son.
What is his
Wow.
name? Oh,
Yeah.
Yusek.
What?
What is the name of your son? We are going to be
Ramil Vizmonte, of course.
Neil Vizmonte. Hello.
Remember that?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Greet him. He's
Yes.
always listening to that 105.1.
We will do that, Yusek, at babatiin na rin po namin kayo. Maraming salamat po for this morning. And yeah, we do hope we get to do this again next time. And there you go. There you have it. That was our
Thank you for the opportunity and good morning to everyone.